This is a place for planting, for digging, for harvesting, for relaxing. It's a place to get your hands dirty, but most of all, it's about having fun. And that's what you'll always have when you're in the garden with Doug Oster. You want a green thumb too, don't you? Welcome to the first ever In the Garden with Doug Oster. That's me from Trib Total Media. And wouldn't you know it, we have the worst possible day for shooting, but the greatest day for planting with all this rain. We're putting in fall crops and we're gonna have fun. Fall is the best time for planting things like this, things that love cold weather. We've got endive and kale and lettuce and a butterhead lettuce and some Swiss chard that I found at Best Feeds. You could probably find some at your local nursery, but the first thing we do before we plant anything is improve the soil with some compost. That could mean from your compost pile, or in this case, just buying a bag for about $5. And for 17 years, I've been adding compost to these beds. And this is going to give the plant everything it needs, and that's what we want to do. By feeding the soil as opposed to feeding the plant, it's going to make us a successful gardener, hopefully. I love planting in the rain. We're going to start with these big Swiss chard plants. Look at those things. We don't have to water. That's the advantage of planting this stuff in the rain. And Swiss chard, again, it's from the beet family. And once we get it in place here, it's not going to need much from us. And now maybe some endive. I like to put the plants really close together. They'll grow together and make kind of a living mulch, in case we did get any weeds sprouting up here. And it's going to be wonderful to be harvesting all the way until Christmas. Well, our endive's in place, and this stuff's going to go nuts with this cool rain, get it established. But I have the perfect spot for some kale and some leaf lettuce, and it might last all the way until next spring. We'll see. Oh, check out this guy in the cold frame. I love to see toads in the garden. He's going to be eating lots of slugs. Calm down, we'll let you go in a minute, buddy. What do you think, Max? What do you think? Yeah, you're afraid of a toad, huh? But look at that little guy. And that's one of the great things about gardening, is getting visitors. All right, you're on your way, buddy. So a cold frame is just a greenhouse that's unheated out in the garden, pitched at 35 degrees to pick up the winter sun. And that's why we're going to put this kale in here. This is the best possible way for this to winter over, because it is in this greenhouse effect. And we'll just get this in place and hopefully be picking this all the way through spring. That's exciting. It's exciting to brag to your friends when they don't have anything left in the garden. You can see behind me, this cold frame has already been planted. I left it open, but I've had to fence it in because, believe it or not, even though this whole vegetable garden's fenced, somehow a rabbit's getting in. I think some idiot is forgetting to close the gate. We're going to put this leaf lettuce in here too. And when things get cold, we'll close up that cold frame. And as I said, it's just like a greenhouse. Last one goes in. I actually have some room left here for a couple other things. Let me show you how I'm protecting plants like this out in the garden from cold. This is called a floating row cover, and it's kind of doing the same thing that that cold frame is. This is a spun-bound translucent fabric. Lets air through, lets water through, where the cold frame does not let the water through. And a couple weeks ago, I planted this lettuce, and just look at it, it's going to town. This makes a greenhouse effect. And you know, we don't need it so much now. We have decent temperatures, but as things get colder in the next couple weeks, these plants are going to definitely benefit from this. You don't have to have the wire hoops. This is so lightweight, the plants themselves hold it up. This is actually to keep the snow off them. That's how long these plants will go. Now, believe it or not, this late in the season, we're still planting seeds. So have you ever heard of tatsoi? This is an amazing green. It can only be grown in cold weather. It's from the kale family. The difference with this green is you don't need bacon to make it edible. Just kidding, kale fans. And I know it might seem very late in the season to start seeds, but as I said, since it just loves cold weather, we're going to get a nice carpet of greens here that, again, could take us all the way till next spring, at least into the winter. And all I'm going to do is take this entire pack it and sprinkle it out here. It's going to be way too close together, but we use those thinnings in salads all fall long, and really nothing to this. That's all there is to it. I'm going to cover it up. We'll let the rain water these seeds in, and in just about a week, these are going to sprout up, and we're going to have a nice treat in the garden. All right, let's finish up. Oh, what a great day to be in the garden. I love being out here in the rain. Join me every week as you follow me through my garden season, seeing the successes and failures. You'll also get to know Max the Wonder Dog, who is the best garden companion. And remember, every day should be a good one when you're in the garden, rain or shine. We'll see you next week. What are you doing? Oh, nodding? I thought you were... You can just say cut.
I don't want to cut.
Like a real director. Did you have a good day in the garden? Was it too wet for you? Close up and see if we can keep that rabbit out of here. Since you can't see him anymore. Don't be embarrassed. It happens to all of us when we get old. Can't see a thing. Come on, buddy. Come on. You're a good boy.
Okay, cut. That's a wrap. Did I sound like a real director?